Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio on a Thursday morning. You know, if the Blue Jays could just take some of those runs from last night and spread them over game 1 and 2, I think they'd have a whole different seat in the series right now. But winning 13 over your team in the championship series is something.
Actually, you just nailed it right on there, and that is the crux of the problem. Toronto is that kind of a team. They absolutely explode, and it took me back to the Phillies-Dodgers series because Philadelphia won one game in that series, and the one game was a blowout, 8-2. I'm not so sure. Well, we'll find out. I was going to say I'm not so sure it won't happen again, but we'll see. 13-4, the Toronto Blue Jays go into Seattle and hammer the Seattle Mariners, and it was Vlad Guerrero who did it. Guerrero's just an old pro. His dad was a terrific player. Vlad himself is, he was 4 for 4 last night. There were 5 home runs in the game. Now, he didn't hit them all, but he did almost hit for the cycle. George Springer went 3 for 6. Alejandro Kirk had 3 RBIs. It was all the Toronto Blue Jays. They win 13-4. Play again tonight, and this will be an interesting series coming up. We'll see what happens.
Vlad, though, if you look at the stats on the first 2 games, didn't really do a whole lot. So I think that's part. If he's on, the team's on. So he just needs to be on, and Blue Jays will be all right. But we will see. We got more baseball tonight on the agenda, don't we?
And these are both games. Seattle-Toronto will play in their game, and then the Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers. The series moves to Los Angeles Dodger Stadium. The Brewers are down 2-0. I really feel like they're shoveling against the tide here. It's probably not going to work, but we'll see. Both games coming up tonight, and the World Series is not very far away. We'll see. The whole circumstance is this. Whatever team is the hottest down the stretch is the one that's going to win.
And in addition to the baseball action, there's also a Thursday night football game. And like Ned likes to say a lot, it's professional football. I like to say it's divisional football because it doesn't matter what the record is. If it's a divisional team matchup, it's always going to be something.
And these teams have a history of playing well against each other. It's the Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. They play in Cincinnati at Paycor Stadium. That's what they've named the stadium. It used to be Paul Brown, but be that as it may, it's Paycor now. And this will be an interesting game because the Steelers are a 5.5-point favorite. But the Steelers, like every team in the NFL, up and down, they have their good nights, they have their bad ones. But you have to think that Pittsburgh will be favored in a big way because Cincinnati has quarterback problems. They've had injury problems as well. They'll have Joe Flacco in there at QB, probably doing the starting tonight. So that puts them as a disadvantage. It's Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and we'll see what happens.
You know, it's crazy how much that one player can have such an impact on your team. And with Burrow being out, man, that's definitely...
Well, you Chiefs fans, you put this in. How about if Mahomes was out?
Oh, same difference. Hey, don't.
Oh no! I'm not bad mouthing him.
No. Don't discredit the Minshew mayhem. All right, buddy. If Mahomes goes down, we got Minshew in there to take care of it.
And Minshew is a pro.
Yes,
He's been around.
So Rasheed Rice back with the Chiefs this weekend, and really, I don't think it could have been a better situation for the first game. He's back against a team that is pretty beat up. But like I said in the last segment, I don't care what you say. It's divisional football, and when these two teams play, it doesn't matter what the record says. So I think it'll be interesting to see what he contributes on Sunday.
Well, the Las Vegas Raiders always play the Chiefs tough. Doesn't matter how bad they are. Remember that Christmas game? I know you do.
Very well.
Well, the fact is that the Raiders will come up. This is a 12.5-point spread, Mike. And I'm not in the business of giving hints, but I would take those points and go with the Raiders. Now, the Raiders aren't going to win, but 12.5 points is a lot to give up. Now, as far as Rice is concerned, he was asked yesterday, he being Andy Reid, are you going to kind of baby step this guy through because it's his first game in over a year? He said absolutely nothing doing. He's going on with a full workload. He's going to be put to the test right away. And he has been practicing with the team. But again, folks, there is a major difference. In fact, it's not even comparable between practice and playing in games. And Rice is going to get hit, assuming he's in there. He's going to get hit for the first time, so he'll have to adjust his psyche to that. And I think he will. The guy's a pro. He's been around. He's paid his price. And so, hey, put him back in there and let's see what happens.
I am very excited because how well I believe Juju Smith-Schuster stepped up in these few weeks leading up to this moment. And Juju Smith-Schuster is kind of the same kind of receiver under that rush. She is big-bodied, almost could be a back. Man, to have both those guys, and then you got Worthy zipping around
Like,
all in
did you
there.
see what one of the it was Baltimore Ravens or Indianapolis Colts? It was one of their players who said yesterday, in regards to the little fight that occurred after the Chiefs game, the player said, Juju Smith-Schuster needs his blank look. I have a feeling this guy doesn't have a great reputation around pro football. He may be and this won't mean anything to you, a Johnny Sample type of guy who's always in the other guy's ear and kind of badgering him and so forth. It's a nice little trick, but the fact is it sometimes gets you into a little bit of trouble, but we'll see what happens.
Hey, like you always say, it's professional sports, my friend. There were 2 Conference USA games last night, and wasn't Bears games, but they're in the same conference. And who got the dubs?
It will be the Bears next week when they play. The first game kind of surprised me a little bit because I'm familiar with the Delaware University Blue Hens, and it's a very good football team. Well, they went to Jacksonville, Alabama last night to play Jacksonville State. And Delaware got off to a terrible start. They got behind 21-0 and then settled down and played football. But Jacksonville State won it 38-25. Delaware's a very good football team, and that shaky start really did cost them. The other one, well, Sam Houston is still without a victory this year. Texas El Paso knocked them off and did it in fairly sizable fashion. A good win for the Texas El Paso Miners, who will play here in Springfield. Bears don't play Sam Houston, but they do play Texas El Paso. Final there was 35-17 in favor of the Miners. So 2 Conference USA games over the weekend.
Now we've got St. Louis Blues starting off their season. What was game 4 or 5 last night?
This was game 5, and they are now 2-2 on the year. Had the Chicago Blackhawks, who are not very strong, or apparently not very strong, go into St. Louis. Now the Blues have played 2 home games in the Enterprise Center and lost them both. And last night, the Blackhawks look like the world's greatest hockey team. They 8-3 was the win over the Blues, and well, they just trounced them in the second period. Outscored the Blues, I think 5-1 in that second period. But the fact is, it is hockey, and anything can happen.
Yeah, it's a long season, my friend, and hopefully it's not too long of a day. So I'll see you tomorrow, and it's Friday. Have a good one, man.